Welcome back here to the Lebanon Sports Complex in Ohio. Good morning. We have a women's quarter-final matchup for you, and what a matchup it is. Colombia's Revolution versus HUCK from Japan. I'm Hannah Pendlebury, joined in the booth this lovely sunny morning by Becky Thompson. Becky, what a match we've got on our hands.
Yeah, Hannah, we've got an incredible matchup here. We've seen the women from Medellin, Colombia. They've come into this tournament with no fear, taking down the likes of Molly Brown. They're undefeated in this tournament so far. HUCK, on the other hand, have come in with only one loss so far before this game. They lost to Ozone 14-10. Of course, having a few close matchups against Brilliance and Traffic. Both those games they closed out on Universe Point as well. So we're going to see a tight matchup. Both these teams really like to play in those tight, small spaces as well.
And once again, seeing Revolution matching up. And currently players are giving each other stickers, writing their names in the format of the opposition, so that during discussions in this game with the language barrier, they can help that with the spirit. There was one translator, certainly for HUCK, the Carly Raimondo, who actually comes out from Detroit, Michigan. Ex-ICO, started in her senior year of college, the 27-year-old, so she'll be very useful assisting the game advisors in discussions with the Colombian side.
Yeah, and these two teams did have a meeting before the World Championships started as well, Hannah. They played a friendly, it was only about a 45-minute long game, with Revolution coming out on top in that one. I believe it was 10-5, so not too much of a close game there, but also a short one, so it's hard to get a full picture. Speaking to Mish Phillips before the game as well, they did play a game of Pictionary with the two teams to demonstrate that they can communicate with each other without being able to speak the same language, and we're seeing that with this nice gesture of the name tags as well right now.
Indeed, Becky, you would be surprised, I don't know, for how much experience you've had of traveling where you don't speak a single word of the local language, but you pick up a few things. You usually pick up, you know, please, thank you, hello, goodbye. But also, you can really get by very far with just gesturing, pointing, and facial expressions. My particular favorite expression is actually a universal one, which is the, huh? Like the whole facial expression, hand movement of that is allegedly universal across cultures and languages. So the look of confusion, thankfully for everyone, is universal.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the beautiful things about sport as well, Hannah. Sport often brings people together from around the world who can't communicate with each other, so great to see everyone coming together, and we're going to get started very soon here as well, Hannah. It's going to be an exciting game.
Aye, the game clock is running as we see players last-minute adjustments and discussions over rosters. We'll see these two teams fighting. You said, obviously, Becky, Colombia coming in as the favourites in this match for sure, but HUCK have their eyes on the prize. They told us that their ambition in this tournament is to be the very best in the world. They're going to have to do everything within their capabilities to best Revolution in this quarter-final. But certainly if they don't achieve it, we have our eyes on them potentially for a 5th place finish. As we see there, a nice shot. Coach Mauricio Moore with his iconic, a double hat look this tournament, Becky.
Yeah, he's got his classic Colombian brimmed hat. We've seen several of them around this week as well. A couple ones being given away and floating around, but great to see him. He's got the Revolution VC hat there on top of his hat. It's a very good look for him, I think, Hannah.
A stylish look indeed. I was chatting to the coach of HUCK, the New Zealand side, and the coach, I think his name is Tom Fraser. He's apparently they've arranged to swap hats at the end of this tournament, so a big hat swap news. They're giving the fans the information they really want about hat swapping in this tournament. So we will see HUCK of Japan coming out on defense, and there's the O-line of Revolution. Our first streamed game, they had a perfect offensive conversion, just one turnover early stages of the tournament. Of course, different story when they faced up against Molly Brown, who have just finished up their quarterfinal. We won't spoil the result of that one, but
Yeah, and of course, Manuela Cardenas down there as well. She plays for Molly Brown in the USAU series in the fall. So a little bit apparently of an emotional conflict there for her at the start of that game against Molly Brown. She had a couple turnovers, but was able to figure it out and play her game for Revolution.
Well, the winner of this match shall advance in this side of the bracket as we get this offense underway for Revolution. Easy swinging early stages into Ospina in the center. One of two Ospinas on the team. Torres finds Cardenas to Ospina. Cardenas up the line, but shoots her off. Finds Torres center field. Now near sideline, getting ever closer to the end zone, but nice patience here from the Revolution offense. Cartagena in the middle. Considers options upfield. Cardenas being given the easy under. She's going to go strike up that line, but great switching from the Japanese defense. Ospina on the goal line, takes the reset. A swing around, open space, but well covered by the defense. Just close enough to make Revolution think twice as we see a rolling backhand from the hand of Cardenas. And that is first blood on the board. Madeline Fry with the catch.
Yeah, and we've seen Revolution throughout the week. They love to go to that break side, force it over to the side, and it allows them to get those open cuts, whereas the HUCK women here are taking away the open side. They're doing a very good job, Hannah, of staying tight to the hip of the Revolution players, but when it does shift over to the break side like that, it is very hard to catch up quickly.
And there we see the patience. Waits for the opportunity in a very excellent amount of separation there. Frey using her legs very effectively. So we see another look at Mauricio Moore and his excellent double hat style look. Interesting there to see. I really enjoyed the defense from HUCK. Good switching, good patience, and Revolution, the thing is you have to do something to generate a turn. They're not going to give you the disc back very easily. Very hard to shake, lots of experience at the top elite level. But the very young D-line for HUCK, they actually tend to have their more experienced, slightly older players. Definitely no disrespect to their athletic abilities, all most capable in terms of speed and agility. But certainly putting their more experienced handlers, see the captains on that line for the offense, just to secure and make sure they can put those ones in to keep their necks well within this game. So HUCK with their first opportunity to put a point on the board. Early HUCK is going to go up. Phillips on the shoulder, but well received by the number 19, Sano. Takes a nice reset. We see an adjustment for Revolution, but it can't stop the speed of Yuko Sato. Near corner of that right side end zone, and there we go, one apiece. And that was much faster, smoother looking offense from HUCK. Very impressive there, Becky.
Yeah, Ayumi Sano there with a great deep strike, and it's not something we've seen a lot of teams be successful with against this Revolution side. Revolution usually defends that deep space very well, but HUCK in this case exploiting the space that they were able to find, and a gorgeous little around backhand into space in front of the receiver, Yuko Sato. I think that's a great offensive point to start off this game here, Hannah.
And that's what you have to do. You have to make a statement with your offense saying, we are HUCK, we are here and ready to play. I love the confidence of that early deep shot. Phillips on the shoulder, but peeled off the stack a wee bit too late to really make much of a play on the disc. Great positioning from Sano. Can't ask for more. So a good start for the Japanese players of HUCK as their D-line comes out once more. And we see a bit of a nutmeg disc going through the legs of the number 29, Weaver. As once again we see excellent defense from the HUCK set. allowing some unders from the deep field. Clearly very aware of the potential deep shots. Oh, and a great bit of pressure there. Number 16, Haruka Furukawa, causing a lack of ability to see the disc. And HUCK first opportunity to make a break of score in this game. Here the sideline of HUCK yelling, and great body position. Cardenas knows she cannot get her body in front, and number 7, Ayana Takamatsu with the score, and that is a break, Becky.
Yeah, great play there from HUCK. Their defensive set was really interesting to watch here, Hannah. They were playing person-to-person match defense all the way downfield, but they had a defender poaching off in that deep space throughout the entirety of that point. So they had 6 players focusing on the person-to-person defense, 1 in that deep space. Revolution, with no HUCK option, turned to the reset and overshot it, HUCK taking advantage. And it's great to see them generating those breaks right at the start of this game.
I also love the confidence of the HUCK side. As soon as they got that break, the sideline went absolutely crazy. You could hear them from here, even with the wind shooting from behind us, sort of taking the sound waves away. They managed to penetrate to our booth. But I love the confidence, and I also have to give credit to Cardenas, who didn't come in and make a play, allowed the number 7, Ayana Takamatsu, who we'll see taking the pull in the next point, allowed her the space, just the wise choice of being, knowing she'd been beat. Or I say she, but you know, not specifically, but knowing that there wasn't the opportunity to go in and make a play, respecting the space that she had. So, Revolution on the attack. Their oil line's been broken once. They'll need to make sure they can punch this one in, as we see Weaver, center of the field. Nice movement. Got the 2 Cardenas sisters currently on the field. Valeria has been heading up the D-line previous games, but coming on to make sure this game's held, as we see Weaver movement far sideline. To Torres, Ospina to Cartagena. Nice flowing movement, a bit of a high disc, but 2 players under it, 2 pink shirts with that glistening in the sunlight gold lettering. A deep shot goes up, but a hand block, and what a play! Tipping off the fingers of the defense. And HUCK once again, opportunity to take a second break and take a firm hold of this women's quarter-final match. Disc is going to go up, it's deep, it's hanging. Can it be redeemed? It is taken away by the number 7, Laura Ospina. She gets the disc back, and Revolution are off to the races, charging down the far side. Cartagena finds Ospina. Nice popping a travel call. Good use of hand signals there from the defense. We'll see Ospina coming back. Just a brief chat about the stall count. But certainly, O-line of Revolution looking like their usual selves. A zone defense from HUCK all the way towards the goal line as we approach that red zone. Oh, nearly a bobble disc in front of Cardenas. Good crashing through the cup from the handlers. Not as fast as we've seen. Casual scooper over the top. And I don't think Torres was expecting that at all, Becky.
No, definitely not. And this HUCK zone right now is happy to let them swing until they're forcing them to make these poor decisions that we're not used to seeing from Revolution.
So HUCK, second opportunity in this point to take a break of score. The shot goes deep. Cardenas on the shoulder, but again, respects the positioning of Kobayashi, and she puts it in. That's 2 breaks in a row for HUCK of Japan. And that is phenomenal work from the players in white. Confident defense, confident offense. And for the first time, really seeing Colombia's Revolution looking very shaken up indeed. And so there we have it. Break of score, 2 in a row for HUCK of Japan. We'll be back after this very short break.
Catch it early. Help us teach kids about cancer symptoms through Ultimate Frisbee clinics. Join us and speak up.
Welcome back to this women's quarter-final match. And those of you who didn't believe in HUCK of Japan prior to this match coming in, perhaps favouring the pink-shirted, gold-lettered players, well, they have responded 3-1 up. 2 breaks in a row in this first half as we see a timeout call to try and stop that momentum. Coach Mauricio Moore giving sage advice to the players right now. Looking a little shaken, Becky.
Yeah, just a little bit. That defense that HUCK has brought out right at the start of this game, they're holding that zone all the way into the end zone, which is not something that Revolution is used to playing against. They're used to taking advantage of those transitions to match defense and exploiting those opportunities. HUCK causing them to force some errors that we're not used to seeing, but that being said, Hannah, it's not the first time Revolution have been in this position either. They were down 4-1 to Molly Brown. They called a timeout. They stormed to a comeback, taking that one 15-10 in the end. So they're definitely not down and out of this one yet.
Oh no, never underestimate any team in this elite women's division. All very capable of going out and getting the disc back. But I'm very impressed to see HUCK coming out very strong. Just a gentle bit of breeze as we see the flags there being tickled by the wind. Conditions are honestly quite perfect this morning, Becky. We've had some muggy conditions earlier in the tournament. Today it's quite cool, a little bit of breeze, just keeping things interesting. Making the disc hang a little bit in the air. But HUCK from Japan's D-line, she'll come out once more and see if they can get another one on the board past Revolution. Once again, we'll see a zone look. Pretty much all the players right now, short field, clustering around the disc, trying to penetrate through using the speed. As we see Torres near sideline. Just very small passes. Not really able to make much space, but finds Weaver in the middle. Now behind the cup, good adjustment from Japan. Cardenas. And to Torres, immediately around to Cartagena, can't find the swing. Good containment from HUCK's zone right now. As they do advance near sideline, Ospina into Cardenas, she's gonna give go. Tapping it in. And that was some very patient, small ball ultimate, Becky.
Yeah, we've seen them change what their style with this zone offense has been from that last point that they were broken to now. Trying before to force too many throws through the cup, some over the tops as well, and now we see them patiently just taking advantage of that space within the wall that HUCK is allowing them to have and going all the way up the field.
And that adjustment pays off. Speaking to Moore before the game, said he doesn't really make that many adjustments as a coach, just allows the players to identify on their own what's going wrong and change up their look, whether on defense or on offense. But a good offensive hold. Japan obviously still up in the game, having taken those 2 breaks in a row. And now it's all on the shoulders of the D-line for Revolution to see if they can't get another one back.
Yeah, Revolution still looking for their first break of the game here. The likes of Elizabeth Mosquera on the line should be able to help them do it, Hannah.
And what an athlete Mosquera is. Such speed, such attack of the disc, but HUCK will no doubt be a difficult force to take the disc away from. Reset available, but not looking for it. It's going to be a high stall throw, but so she's eventually nice take from Maiko Hara, one of the founders of this team, the 39-year-old. And two ambitious throws ahead of players. Second one around, Kobori not able to take it in. Mosquera double coverage. She's got the stature, but a great read. Good backup. Helped out by her teammate. And so, opportunity now, Revolution's D-line to get one back. Phillips up the sideline, and she toes it in beautifully.
It's interesting as well to see how HUCK's offensive line plays a different style of defense. Instead of setting up that zone, they transitioned into that person-to-person set here. And Revolution, that's what they love to play with. They absolutely just exploited that. Mish Phillips, hard to mark her as she cuts with such purpose to the end zone there as well. And this beautiful layout grab here from HUCK. And you saw just a few ambitious throws from HUCK, but they were working it up so well before that, Hannah.
Yeah, nice leading pass, lays it just to make sure, but here we see the errant throw, just a tiny bit too low for the hands of Yukari Kobori. And that was very good hero play. The number 27, Akinu Young, really rescuing Mosquera, who'd been covered so well by the defense. She'd been sandwiched between the two HUCK players. And there we see Phillips with the score. Bit of a difficult one emotionally for Phillips. There is a strong connection between HUCK and her home team of Bauhaus back in Australia, where she typically plays her ultimate, obviously joining the Revolution squad off the back of a strong connection with that team and a valuable extra couple inches of height. Certainly, she'll be a wee bit torn either way this match goes. But a valuable break back for the D-line of Revolution, as we'll see them come out with what looks to be potentially a zone. Although now seeing more of a match defensive look, but HUCK making quick work of finding separation. Inside channel, lots of pressure, wee bit of contact there on the back of Kobayashi. The 26-year-old with lots of national experience, an appearance at under-24s in 2013, World Ultimate Guts Championships 2016, and on the World Games squad in Wrocław, Poland, which I had the delight of calling at the end of last year. But as we've said before, lots of experience in the O-line of the Japanese side. Small channels being taken, but confident under pressure. We see the swing around. Thinks about the put into space, but reset found eventually. Good footwork from the number 1. Maiko Hara into the space, and that is a good hold, nice and solid from HUCK of Japan.
I really like to see the way that HUCK is only moving one at a time. They're very clear about who is supposed to be making that next cut, and the handlers are really generating this offense right now. They're controlling the flow and the pace of the game, and Revolution is having a hard time keeping up with them.
And that is a very hard ask for any team to try and out-athlete the side of Revolution. So fast and powerful when they hit their stride, especially on those deep shots. It's been really smart coverage in terms of the defense from HUCK, clearly using their experience to their advantage. As we see that slightly younger D-line coming out now. Bit of a history of HUCK, formed in 2003 by Maiko Hara and Ayumi Fujioka, both present on this side, the 39-year-old pair. As we see the number 7, Ayana Takemasu, with a pull which will be quickly taken by Cardenas. Revolution's O-line, tight marks there. Perhaps even a double team, but Torres close enough to put the pressure on. Oh, and a run through D. That is very great attack. Run through D on Cardenas, no less. And HUCK's defensive line looking extraordinarily sprightly in this women's quarter-final match. Channel on the inside. Double happiness. But can it be defended? Cartagena coming through. She says no, not today. But what a run through D from Ryona Oshima. So 2 turnovers, 1 apiece. Revolution with the disc. Arcing flick across into space for Fry. Pop into the middle to Cardenas. Nice rounds. We see now more of a true match defense from HUCK. Ospina in the middle. Pick call. HUCK still very much wary of the deep shots, allowing Revolution to come under. But certainly Revolution having to use good footwork and turn hard. Cardenas pops in, give goes. And this is the rapid offense we're used to seeing from the pink shirts. Finds a sneaky left side shot in the end zone, and that is a good defensive hold from Revolution, tying it up at 4 apiece.
Yeah, and Revolution coming down with that big D in the end zone from Yina Cartagena. A very important defensive point to get that, to make this into an offensive hold for them. HUCK is really baiting those unders as well, and you saw that with the run through D on Manuela Cardenas. They're making it seem like she's open and then closing that speed and closing that distance so quickly. You see her try to go for that grab, but just right into the poach as well there.
Really impressed by the body positioning, but unfortunately some conservation of greatness as she throws it up into double coverage, trying to hit Nishijima. And there we see the sneaky attack of Revolution. They were certainly looking much more like their usual selves there, Becky. That relentless, just complete give-go offense. Almost not even establishing a pivot point before the next throw goes. As we see HUCK looking to hold and retain that 1 break lead that they currently have, but will have Revolution with a quick pickup. Cardenas centering the disc. Again, give goes D-line, not quite so quick at moving the disc around, but just as effective. As a little bit of contact. Cardenas and Kobayashi coming together. Furious movement. As we see Revolution on the goal line, looking to take a break back. Cartagena's finds Mosquera, speed and power towards the back corner. And that is the break. We are back on serve in this women's quarterfinal match.
Yeah, and that's the first time we've seen Revolution come out with a little bit more of a junk look on defense, a little bit zony, some poaches in the lanes, and caused HUCK to throw directly into them. And the vision from Valeria Cardenas to see this shot as well. She had about 4 or 5 other players to her left trying to cut open for that reset. That can be very distracting, so to stay calm in that situation, still hit your shot to the end zone is very impressive.
Wow, with speed from players like Mosquera just rinsing through to that back corner. Who needs a reset, Becky? So 5-4 to Revolution, back on serve in the quarterfinals of this WFDF 2018 World Ultimate Club Championships. As we see beautiful conditions for a game of Ultimate. And Revolution's D-line preparing to take their first lead in this game. But certainly HUCK will have something to say about that. Deep pull from Mosquera. Lovely technique. Callahan territory. But a good adjustment. Ospina trying everything she can. Far sideline, just jamming it a little bit too hard. Pressure from Torres. Won't find the intended target of Chiaki Kikuchi. So, break opportunity now for Revolution. Very short field indeed. Center of the field, Mosquera finds Ospina, and that is a break of score. Maybe not called in. Gonna have a little discussion about that one. Certainly a secure catch, just.
Yeah, hard to tell where her foot was when she caught the disc. When you're catching at speed, you're running out of the end zone there towards the disc. Looks like they decided it wasn't in.
Well, she did the important thing of focusing on her hands and not on her feet. As we see the disc swung around the back. Nice movement from Torres, following her pass. Considers the inside channel, but decides the reset. Oh, and what a punch of score that one is. Lethal inside flick from Alejandra Torres. And that is a break for Revolution, now up 6-4 in the quarterfinals.
If you want to be a high performer, eat like one. Start with a balanced diet and drink plenty of water. Good nutrition is one of the best ways to boost your mental and your physical health.
Welcome back to the Lebanon Sports Complex in Ohio, as we have quite the matchup on our hands. We have Revolution of Colombia in the lovely pink and gold shirts, and HUCK of Japan in the white and blue. So we've seen Revolution take their first lead in this game, taking 2 breaks on the trot in this first half, score at 6-4. But HUCK looking lethal in the early stages. 2 holds, but then 2 breaks of their own. And Becky, to those naysayers who said Revolution would roll through this one, certainly not been the case.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised to see that from HUCK as well. They're a very disciplined team, especially with their defensive set. They communicate extremely effectively on the field, always telling their teammates who should they be picking up and where they should be on the field. And that has allowed them to get some poached blocks and force some miscues from the Revolution offense so far.
It has indeed been the story of this game so far. That D-line, as you say, being extremely intelligent and excellent communication. But we'll have the O-line of HUCK now coming out with a much needed hold. Else we'll see Revolution taking a bit of a control of their own now. But still early stages, 70 minutes left on the clock. I have a feeling, Becky, we might see this one go to full time and perhaps even beyond.
Yeah, HUCK is very determined here as well. They did say they want to be the #1 team in the world. When we asked them who their players to look out for on the team were as well, they said all of us. So they're a very deep team. They trust their teammates, and they're not going to give up on this anytime soon.
Yeah, certainly not. They have some players who've been on this squad for over 15 years now, as we see excellent separation. Mosquera churning up yards, but that is a beautiful take from Yukari Kobori under pressure for the offensive hold.
And that's one thing we didn't see from other teams against this Revolution side. They weren't hitting those deep shots as frequently as HUCK has come out here. And what an appropriate team name for what they're doing right now as well, Hannah. But they have come up with no fear with the likes of Elizabeth Mosquera on the defense, and absolutely no problem there for Kobori to reel that one down.
I'm so impressed, Becky, by the body positioning of the Japanese players. They're really going up so very strong and just they're holding their position so well. Great reads, just top notch.
Yeah, they've brought the fire, that's for sure, Hannah, and I don't think we're gonna see them stop playing this game plan as well. They like to be in control, so does Revolution, so it's interesting to see two teams with similar philosophies competing against each other.
So an excellent and most effective hold from HUCK of Japan. Let's see if their D-line can once again generate confusion for the offense of Revolution. Perhaps to take another break as we'll see the pull and out of bounds on the far side. Picking up, very experienced player. We'll also see her in the Masters division later on this season, playing with IROT, by all accounts, a Riot Masters team. She'd actually played with Riot in the 09-10 seasons, gaining valuable experience. And we'll see another stifling zonal look from HUCK, making Riot Revolution have to think. Good work in the space again, this fast movement. Charge led by Cardenas, swinging round. Such intelligent defense here. Ospina on the disc. Cartagena finds Cardenas. Good work from the three-person cup to cover. We've got the movement now. Ooh, bit of a body shot there from Cardenas as she runs into the mark of No Kaguri. Thumbs up though, all good fun. Just the when you play that rapid kind of give-go offense, it's just one of the things that's going to happen.
Yeah, and great to see them smiling and laughing after that as well. Cardenas just tried to continue her give-and-go pass up line, taking out the body, although it does look like there was a travel called earlier on.
So Cardenas using her speed very effectively. Just tight channels. Cartagena's going to center to Torres. Good spread of the positioning in the end zone of the Revolution players. Those luminous pink shirts showing up nicely on the screen. Good fast movement between the handlers, nice and smooth. As HUCK hold the zone defense. Player in the back of the field, high stall. Ospina needs a release valve. Piling on the pressure, that three-person cup. Cardenas milking the swing pass and penetrates through into the hands of the number 24, 14 even.
And Mud's still holding that zone all the way into the end zone as well, and it's a very flat wall too, Hannah, which is making it very hard for the Revolution players to go forward. And what I like about their cutters right now is they're actually quite static in the backfield. They're not trying to cause too much clogging. They're not trying to move too much. They're waiting for the handlers to get those open opportunities on the swing, and they're wide open through the holes from the zone.
Well, that is a hold of score for Revolution's O-line. Currently one break up, 7-5 the score. And as you say, the handlers really driving the offense for Revolution. And a nice shot to take it to 7. So 1 goal away from the half for Revolution. Certainly HUCK need to put their offense in, keep this one alive a wee bit longer, else they might see Revolution take a firmer hold going into the second half. And we see match defense from Revolution, their favored set. Lots of pressure from the defense, so close to the channels, but great takes. Calm offense from HUCK. Good marks on the handler, it's going to be redeemed though. And there's some good adjustment. Abusing the fact that the defense went for the block, put too much on it. Hammer over the top. Oh, we do love a good hammer score coming out the hands of Mike O'Hara, one of the captains of the HUCK side.
And Mike O'Hara has been an absolute pleasure to watch so far in this game, dominating that offensive handler set here for HUCK, going every other pass all the way up the field to that awesome little cheeky hammer into the end zone, a wide open player. And Revolution maybe a little bit unlucky not to get that D on the handler resets, but as soon as it opened up the field, HUCK took advantage. Yeah, you saw the 31 Yuko Sato really abusing the fact that she'd left her player for dust by the redemption play. That was Nishijima sort of rescuing the pass that sailed over the head of her teammate. We do love a bit of a hammer score from Mike O'Hara-san. What a play. Yeah, what a play and what an incredible player. She's been playing Ultimate for 21 years, 39-year-old from Tokyo. No surprise that we're talking about her a lot in this game. She's a veteran player and she's certainly showing her experience on the field right now.
She being one of the founders of this team, Becky, firing up the offense. As we see a timeout call. Columbia 7, HUCK 6. 1 point away. But if HUCK's D-line can come and find a bit more magic, we could see Galaxy point. But still, with 62 minutes remaining, anyone's game at this stage.
Yeah, HUCK still with those 2 breaks early on at the start of this half. Definitely looking to break one more time here before the half as well. They're not going to want to settle for going down 8-6 at half. That being said, at the same time, Revolution, Coach Mauricio Moore, I think calling this timeout to try to close it out, take that half, and gain some momentum.
So as HUCK prepares to go out on defense, being misted by their staff, all important to try and keep cool. Very long tournament, and certainly very hot conditions. Pleasant today, this morning. So see the flags in the back of that shot being gently caressed by the breeze. Currently, wind going from the right-hand side of the screen towards the left. So a wee bit of an upwind, downwind effect, but at this elite level, Becky, neither side seems to be being affected at all by that light breeze. So Revolution will look to calmly bring this into play from that far sideline by the looks of it. Torres on the mark. Finds Ospina straight away up the line. And a slightly looser set from the defense of HUCK. Well tracked. Angel into Cartagena. Torres anchoring, finds Cardenas. Ooh, an attempt for the run-through bid, but not to be this time. Torres with a smile on her face as she pops that into Ospina. The Revolution off to the races, charging down this near sideline. Torres finds a poached weaver. HUCK happy to let the easy reset, knowing how lethal the speed is. Cartagena, not really much of a mark. Ospina popping it in, and that is hard. Manuela Cardenas, far near side. And a little kick spike as they take half, 8-6.
Yeah, and Revolution will be very happy to have gotten us to halftime here. HUCK playing really great, tight defense still. They're poaching off a little bit. Riona Oshima taking that matchup against Manuela Cardenas, but she comes away with this one.
Well, we're bringing more action for the second half. Stay with us in this women's quarterfinal match.
There is a place where we are us at our best.
A place where everyone is welcome,
regardless of age, shape, skin color, or anything else that tries to box people in.
A place where we defy the odds.
And even defy gravity.
a place that knows grit, knows grace, knows bright lights, and knows empty bleachers.
A place where we remember to laugh.
Where we learn to trust.
And eventually, even learn to fly.
A place where character, community, and competition
are all as balanced as a disc in flight.
That place isn't in a stadium or on a field.
That place is in the spirit of our players.
Because we don't just play Ultimate, we live Ultimate.
We are in half-time in this women's quarter-final match. Revolution of Colombia versus HUCK of Japan. 8-6 the score, but still very much anyone's game. Fantastic defense, Becky, from the white shirts of the HUCK players.
Yeah, we're seeing the HUCK players come out with this zone set that has caused some issues for Revolution. On the other hand, Revolution's starting to figure it out though, Hannah, so maybe some adjustments that we will start to see in the second half, but HUCK definitely causing some problems and causing them to make some unforced errors.
Yes, HUCK of Japan, a very experienced squad. Got the two founders, the 39-year-olds, Harasan and Fujioka. And some of the action now. So we look at the highlights of the first half. Passes out into space and big hucks from the Japanese side. Been the name of the game for their offense. But look at the rapid speed of Revolution. Body position, so crucial here. Score for the first half. We'll see what more lies in store for the second half of this women's quarter-final match.
In Colombia, really we love dance, and before the training we are dancing on sideline, and we have some players that are very good for dance, and they made the dance for teach at another team, and we feel it's so weird because another team feel that they have a very work up they have, and we prefer work up with dance. We love dance, and we love that the team comes to dance with us. Que pues como que she said that the goal for the team is be a championship, but with the best esprit of the game. Her goals is give to the team the best that she have, the best of her. She want to give to the team a very good throws that she have. For me, my individual goals is keeping going because I know that I'm young and I want to learn more and have a better level. And for the team, I remember where we was in the 2014 when we was eliminated for a scandal. This day we say we can't stop the upground. We shall go because we have another wars in 4 years. Our goal is win wars. Your age don't define how you play, how you are. You can play very well and don't matter the age. And I think this is the difference for me and maybe for her, that I don't care what is my age. I always agree with the people older than me, and I think for that I am like a young older player than the age that I am. She said that we have an advantage because we start so young. We have a better technique because we learn to throw very young. How we are with the people older than us, we mature more super fast, and she say this is a advantage that we have. It's difficult to say, but I want play more in different countries, go to Europe, Australia. I want to do that. 15 years more for me.
20.
She say 20 years more.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
And words there from the superstar player Manuela Cardenas of Revolution, talking about the young age and the desire to win this championship. Becky, the Cardenas twins, having celebrated their 18th birthday when they were attending the World Games back in Poland last year, very young, but used their speed very effectively. Do you think perhaps the wisdom of HUCK might surmount in this instance?
It's hard to say there, Hannah. I mean, the Cardenas twins have been playing since they were 9 years old, so they've already racked up 10 years of playing for such a young age. And that's exactly what they were speaking about there in that features. They feel like they are much older in their Frisbee age than they are in real life. And their maturity on the field, I do think, shows with their decision making. That being said, defensively, HUCK has definitely caused some errors. We saw Manuela Cardenas turn it over in the first half, so it's hard to predict what we'll see in the second half.
I like that, Becky. The Frisbee age. We're all youngsters in Frisbee age. A bit like dog years.
Very much so.
Well, either way, both sides, buckets of experience on the world stage. Certainly the Colombian side focuses on national representation. Actually, some of the highlights on Revolution, players have been saying that they particularly enjoyed beating the Japanese national side to advance to the finals, one of the World Championships previous years. So familiar with the Japanese playing style and seem to be finding their form and able to shut that down. Currently one break up as we'll go into the action of the second half. So second half now underway. Japan on the attack. Need to have a hold to start this one. Nice work up the far sideline. Revolution piling on the pressure, shutting down the channels. High stall, but finds the hands of Raimundo. American player coming out of Detroit, Michigan, acting as a very much needed translator, helping the communication between teams. And we'll see a heads up play off the back of a miscue. Revolution's opportunity to take first blood in this half with a break. Ospina near side. Into the centre, Cartagena. Good work from the defence of HUCK. Oh, a near miss from Hara. Cardenas goes to the far side. on the goal line. Poach off. Oh, and a sneaky attempt from the back. Goes to ground just to make sure. That is a heads-up play into the hands of Laura Ospina Gomez.
Yeah, that throw, not 100% throw there, Hannah. It dropped very quickly, so Ospina had to make that layout grab. But Maiko Hara, a little bit unfortunate not to get a D block there as well for HUCK, as she slipped, I think, and caused her not to get that poach block. But credit to Revolution, you give them that much space, they're gonna find the open receiver.
And that's a visionary shot, roll curve into the back side of the end zone. Great awareness from the number 7 shirt of Ospina Gomez to just take it as low as it needed. And that is a break of score into the first half. 9-6 now to Revolution, finding their form. And they put oodles of pressure on the offense of HUCK. So the O-line of HUCK preparing to take their second point in the half of this game. High floating pull from the arm of Mosquera. So good at those, even into this slight crosswind. Finds the inside channel. Nice hand movement to direct the traffic upfield. Revolution doing a much better job now of shutting down the deeps of HUCK as we see the sail past the hands of Maiko Hara-san. A ripping shot that's going to sit and zip into the hands of Mosquera. She takes the reset. Cardenas charging up the line. Not much movement from the backfield. Going to leave it to the handlers, the sisters throwing to each other, but it's just going to bump out of the hand of Valeria Cardenas.
Yeah, and you see Manuela Cardenas there hitting her chest saying, my bad as well, not the throw she wanted to put up.
She knew that was an ambitious shot. Revolution don't need to be hasty when they have that opportunity. You see, oh, and put out to space, but a little bit of caught in the wind. Maiko Hara going to ground, but it's going to sail into the turf. And once again, Revolution, very short fields, take a second break in this women's quarterfinal. Oh, and an easily done defensive mispositioning. And that is a break given all too easily.
Yeah, Revolution coming out here with 2 straight breaks in this second half. They've turned on the defensive intensity, and you can see them adjusting so quickly here, making that cut, recognizing how open they are right away.
And that's 10-6 Revolution over HUCK of Japan.
Do you want to avoid overuse injuries? Cross-train. Get your exercise routine out of a routine and mix it up with a variety of activities. Your muscles, tendons, and joints will thank you later.
Welcome back to the action at the fields here at the Lebanon, Ohio Sports Complex, the WFTF 2018 World Ultimate Club Championships. And we have what a women's quarter final we've been having here, Becky. Revolution of Colombia now coming out strong in the second half. 2 breaks up over HUCK of Japan as we see that wind starting to pick up.
Yeah, you can hear the wind battling a little bit. It's coming hot into our booth up here as well, so imagine it's quite heavy on the field. The flags going a little bit wild at the back and maybe also helping push that pull out of bounds there.
And the wind direction slightly changing now, more of a crosswind as we feel it on our backs and our calf muscles. Becky suffering a bit of a cramp yesterday, even though not playing, Becky.
Yeah, this commentary work is very strenuous, Hannah.
Well, I think that shows the conditions. They've been very hot. Hydration has been key as we see Revolution scooping up an errant pass from HUCK. Not looking quite so confident after those 2 breaks of score. Bit of a call on the field. Mosquera dabbing her eyes, but seems to all be fine. Brief stoppage of play. And HUCK now the opportunity to talk to each other and make some defensive discussions. Good faking. Takes the shot in the center of the field. See Ospina, the number 0. Good to see her back on the field. Missed 6 years of her career due to a hand injury that required 2 rounds of surgery. But she is delighted to be back with her Colombian family. Revolution. So we see a pick into the center of the field. Flores in acres of space. This will come back in play with a nice central field position, a wee bit over to the far side. Asks for the swing around, doesn't receive it. HUCK doing a great job of shutting down the resets at the moment. Revolution looking to play it up that far sideline, small ball, but do have the disc skills to continue. Rojas puts it up into space. And great defensive work. The number 5 shirt, Kobayashi, making a play. And taking the disc back here for HUCK's O-line. Need to punch this one in now. Holsters a deep shot, finds Romanos. Far side. Oh, and the big shot from the captain, Mike O'Hara. Well positioned and so well taken under huge coverage. The hand of Kana Kobayashi snagging that one in for the defensive hold, much needed second half of this game.
And what I love about that, Hannah, is you saw HUCK work it up the far sideline and look off that deep shot twice. Kobayashi reset her cut and made it so that she timed it off each of those opportunities, making it so Hara could put that one up into space, and well taken by Kobayashi there.
And there we see the defensive play. That's double happiness for the number 5, Kana Kobayashi. And that's pure trust there. Defender on the shoulder, making a play, but once again, that positioning from HUCK so crucial in taking these down. Kobayashi highly decorated, as we said earlier, appearances on the under-24s, World Gut Squads and World Games back in Wrocław last year. So she is used to taking those down, even with the pressure of defenders on the shoulder. But nice to see a bit more confidence there from HUCK, taking on the deep shots once more and coming up with them. Crucial D-line point though, as we see Ayana Takamasu preparing the pull. So Revolution once more on the attack. Cartagena finds Angel. Back to Torres. Pick downfield, but good defense again from HUCK, making Revolution throw some negative passes, Becky.
Yeah, they're causing them to look for harder options than they would normally choose to go for. They're making it work right now, but you wonder how long is that going to last for?
Not sure where the pick occurred, Becky. Certainly a player in wide open space on that far side. And a deep poach from HUCK. ever so wary of the speed running down big discs. And Revolution puts them into the end zone. So Angel, near side, finds Cardenas. Gomez. Popping up for Weaver. Again, HUCK happy to allow Revolution's handlers to have their space, wary of Madeline Fry, who's been a big target deep for Revolution. Fry is going to strike deep, but patience from the Revolution side. Cartagena, far side, has a look at her flick for a little while, but tosses it back to Weaver. Not really much in the way of in cuts now from Revolution, as we see Cartagena looked off. Reaching grabs. Gomez steps round. She wants that backhand. Cardenas goal line. Separation. Where was the defender on Madeline Fry?
It looked like there that HUCK tried to communicate some switch defense, but a miscommunication there on the defensive set allows Cardenas to punch that one into Maddie Fry. And credit to Manuela Cardenas here. She looked several times. She stayed low. She set herself so that she wouldn't rush that throw, and eventually gets it in there to Fry.
So there we see an offensive hold for Revolution of Colombia. Score 11-7, currently sat 3 breaks ahead of HUCK. Mish Phillips there trotting away to the right side of the shot. The number 16, who we already mentioned, will be a little bit torn in this matchup. She's very fond of the HUCK squad. Big connection to her home team of Bauhaus, coming out of Australia. In fact, she actually played with HUCK in the 2013 season over in Japan. And Kobori from HUCK having come and played in Bauhaus. There's still, I was speaking to her before the game, still a bit of international transfers happening between those two sides. As I was joking about the local region of Japan with the Aussie teams. HUCK's O-line going to put it up into space, well received. Considers the deep shot, but once again holsters, and we'll see an errant pass. A catch made, but that's going to be out of bounds for Yukari Kobori, the 29-year-old from Kawasaki. So, D-line of Revolution, another opportunity. Are we going to see a hop from the hand of Cardenas? Big arcing flick, sails over the head of Mosquera. A difficult player to overthrow, but Cardenas manages it.
Yeah, and it looks like Mosquera lost it a little bit in the air, maybe thinking it wasn't necessarily meant for her as she let it go to ground, but overshot for sure by Cardenas.
And she goes to work shutting down that deep shot. Raimondo finds Kobori up the line, who's going to put it out into beautiful space. Can she tow it in? Oh, that was a play and a half, Becky, but I think she might have had her ankle on the line.
Very hard to see when a player is moving that quickly at speed. Kikuchi there with a great athletic play. Whether or not that was in bounds, it takes so much awareness to try to toe a line.
Indeed. Chiaki Kikuchi, have another look. It's a close one, Becky, as close as they come. I think the ankle might have flipped down, but the call on the field is that it was out of bounds. Excellent spirit from both sides as we saw Mosquera off to the races. Cardenas far side, takes the shot. Travel call on the throw.
And we're seeing quite a few travel calls from the HUCK players as well. They've recognized that Revolution really loves that throw and go momentum. They're often throwing while running, so catching maybe a few extra steps in there.
Well, that is one of the features that makes Colombia's offense so very dangerous, is that fast play, Becky. doing a good job of stifling the flow, but difficult to put pressure on Mosquera and come up with it, but that's a beautiful attempt from Kobayashi. HUCK still very much want this game. Eyes on the prize of that opportunity for the final. But they'll still have a semi after this to go. Nice inside shot from Cardenas. Oh, and a layout bid puts enough pressure on. The layout bid is made, but way too ambitious.
Yeah, and that huck there from Ferrero as well, I'm not sure that was ever sitting up high enough to hold for her receiver to run onto it, but the pressure there from the Japanese defense, it's really starting to cause more problems, and that's exactly what they need to generate right now.
Yeah, Hara-san with a layout bid, not getting the block, but putting just enough pressure on. It goes to ground. Opportunity now. She'll put it up. Now HUCK does come. Mosquera is on the shoulder, and look at that body positioning. But a miscue. What composure from HUCK. Foul is called, but a hero is made in Kobayashi on that far sideline.
And that's absolutely why they say catch your Ds. Mosquera thinking she'd just done enough to tap that one out of bounds as she goes up for this, only gets a little touch, and then read perfectly by the Japanese receiver to reel that one in and keep possession.
And that is the definition of a heads-up play. Knows she's been beaten by position, but doesn't give up. As HUCK, even though a few breaks down, are not giving up in this women's quarterfinals. We see Hara-san charging, but the disc is put far too far for her to make a play.
Yeah, and Hara-san wide open up the line as well. You really want to see those ones completed. HUCK needs to take advantage of those opportunities.
They do indeed, Becky. They need to convert on these shots when they get the D. Revolution not really known for giving the disc back a lot. This D-line not quite as lethal as the O-line though, as we see Cardenas with that fast movement. Has Mosquera available. Good force from the handler, Marks. And a shot. Two white shirts chasing, but Mosquera is going to take that nice and easily, using her stature, reeling in yet another break in this second half.
And Valeria Cardenas just putting that one into space, making it harder for the Japanese defense to sandwich Mosquera the way they've done previously on other points in this game. And Mosquera makes easy work of that as well, running and just jumping straight into the end zone for the score.
Well, it was good placement in terms of the throw. Mosquera's mark on that left shoulder, putting out to the space in front of the right. And we see Hara-san trying to get in there and make a play, but not coming in at a good enough angle to really get a good view on it. And Mosquera using her height to take the third break in this half. So 12-7 the score. Revolution seems to be running away with this match, Becky.
Yeah, they're definitely in the driver's seat at this point. This is the kind of ultimate that they love to play, knowing that they're in control and that they can control the pace of the game as well.
So we'll see Maiko Hara-san staying on the field. Nice little flash of the neon undergarments. She dabs the sweat away. She's working so hard in this game. So sad to see that overthrow with the scoring opportunity, but taking this game 1 point at a time will be crucial now for HUCK. Just have to hold the confidence as Revolution do an excellent job of shutting down their options. Taking a good negative swing, space opened up around, taken by the give-go of HUCK's own Kobori on the disc. Beautiful movement, thinks about the HUCK, but fakes it. Good loose coverage from the two-shirt of Carvajal. Pop over the top. There is a call on the play, foul signaled by the hands of Kawasaki. See, just coming back, Ruben Berg, the game advisor, available to assist if needed. This will come back in on 3, so that will be a offensive foul from Kawasaki on the number 10, Ortiz. As you see, a good spread on the offense. Almost looking like a diamond when they're in centre of the field. Good patience. Considers the option. These high release backhands over the top. Very nice. Into space, in the middle. And that is a score for HUCK. Much needed in this second half, Becky.
Absolutely, Hannah. And HUCK is starting to figure out this defense that Revolution is playing. Revolution has primarily allowed them to look for those out options, but is also staying tight on their hips. And now HUCK, they're changed up their cuts a little bit. They're not going for so many of those little inside shots. They're hitting more of the arounds, finding their spaces in the end zone.
Indeed, and then opening up the channels by using those arounds effectively, making the defense have to work both ways. And there we see perhaps a more style we're more used to from the Japanese sides. I love those high release backhands over the top, just popping it. Good attack. So we see a hold from HUCK. 12-8 the score, but they're going to need to find some magic for the D-line. With a 4-point deficit, that is a lot of daylight right now in this game. Revolution will be happy to sit on that cushion. Takamasu once again with the pull. Looking like it's going to sail out of bounds on the far sideline. Will be centered by Torres. We see the one glove look, the offhand with the glove. A look I favour myself, Becky. That extra little grip on the non-throwing hand. Some players finding, obviously, if they don one on their throwing hand, puts a little bit too much pace on the disc. Weaver. Finds Gomez. Torres that on that far side. Once again, we see the zone look from HUCK, making Revolution throw lots of passes. Of course, Revolution dangerous when they do get it through that cup. Oh, and there we see a turn generated. Weaver going to ground, but the zone delivers the turnover. And HUCK with an important break opportunity. Going to need to holster and play safe on the end zone line now. Crucial moment in this game as we see a call on the field. Kawasaki with the disc. Good communication, both players informing their teammates upfield where it's going to come in on. 5 is signalled by the game advisor, Ruben Berg. Golden opportunity for HUCK. Players isolated in space in the end zone. Still starting to creep ever higher as we see multiple double cuts, but there is great defense from the hand of Lillian Weaver, using her height to bat it away from the intended target. And so the opportunity wasted by HUCK with just miscommunications on their offense, but we see the give go up that far sideline, racing it down the field. And where is the defense, Becky? Unable to catch up, and a shot into the far space. There we go, there is the hold for Revolution, extending the scoreline now to 13-8.
And Revolution there on that turnover with the D from Weaver, not allowing HUCK to set up their zone defense. Instead, as soon as they get this break up the sideline from Alejandra Torres, they were off to the races, Hannah.
Indeed they were. So 13-8 the score. We'll be back with more action after this short break.
Heat illness strikes kids and adults alike during summer workouts. Watch for muscle cramps, fever, nausea, headache, weakness, or feeling faint. Act fast to get cool and get fluids.
Welcome back to this women's quarter-final match. We have HUCK of Japan trailing Revolution of Colombia. And Becky, what a game it's been so far. Revolution, one break up in the first half, carrying through 3 further breaks in this second half, and a wasted opportunity in the previous point from HUCK. Golden red zone offense and just double cutting, causing the disc to be thrown away.
Yeah, not something we're used to seeing from such a disciplined, systemic team, falling to that trap of cutting to the same spaces.
Oh, and a sneaky block from Revolution. Great attack from the D-line. And that is a very fast break indeed. Caught us by surprise.
Yeah, we're starting to see Revolution employ almost a similar defensive set to what Mudd was doing earlier in the game. They're giving the handlers some room and having a lot of poaches upfield to take away those in-cut options. And you see Valeria Cardenas making that transition so quickly to throw it in for the score.
And we'll see that play. Cardenas sees the disc go up and says, I'm having that one. Beautiful heads up by her. Although it's what happens when you have a player that's having a standout game, and Hara-san has been having a wonderful time out on this field. So a favoured target gets a telegraph throw, picked off by the defense.
Yeah, Michael Hara-san, a standout player for this HUCK offense, and had an incredible defensive game as well out here. Been really a general and a controlling factor, a calming factor even, most points here for HUCK, but unfortunately they're just unable to get to that disc first.
And so Revolution 1 point away from a semi-final at this World Ultimate Club Championships now. Difficult point for HUCK. Their O-line must be so very tired at this point, so experienced, so decorated, but being taken apart a little bit by the speed of Revolution. Reaching grab, far sideline. Good marks upfield. Gonna have to take a risky shot. Lots of contact over on the far side. Players both on the ground. Foul is gonna be called uncontested immediately. A bit of a risky shot. Perhaps lucky there that there was play contact. Mariana Montoya. Good position, but a hip goes over the back of the intended target. Possession will be retained by HUCK as they look to keep the dream alive of remaining in contention for that all-important gold medal. Stall out has also been called. 2 players discussing. Mosquera on the mark. Weaver coming in there to assist with the communication. So we'll see her attractive sun hat bobbling up as she nods her head. Staying cool in this heat and this sunshine is very important. It's unfortunate we can't get a shot of it, but one of the scorekeepers is rocking a sensational looking little hat all weekend long. Check out our social media for that at WFGF Live. We'll be posting a shot of him for the fans at home. So contested stall out, the disc will come back into the hands of number 5, Kana Kobayashi. So back in the action here in this women's quarterfinal as we see a disc going out of contention and a big shot ripped to the end zone. It's going to sit and hang, played, made by the defense, but that is a score and game for Revolution of Colombia with a defensive break to finish it up. And Becky, what a play that was.
Yeah, an incredible play there, shooting that one up into space. Well read by the Colombian player Flores here and carrying that one down to take the victory. And Hannah, we just saw Revolution run away with that game in the second half here.
They really did. It was all about the latter stages, the business end of this match. So confident, a full 5 breaks and a double break to finish it. HUCK's O-line just far too gassed. They brought 20 players to this tournament versus Revolution's 26-strong roster, but just couldn't find enough in the tank. But exceptional scenes as we see the players now like a multicolored caterpillar with the aerial shot. So much love on both sides, so much passion advancing towards the semis, which will happen tomorrow.
Yeah, Revolution will face the winner of Brute Squad Fury, a game that's going on. You can tune into it on the Ulti-World stream. We won't give away the current score of that one, but Revolution here to accomplish their goal. They want to make it to that final, and they're one step closer, Hannah.
And as we see the players celebrating, and Coach Mauricio Moore of Revolution giving a hug to all of the players on HUCK. So well played from them in the first half. Their offense at the beginning of this game, Becky, was so strong and so confident, but ultimately Revolution, the stronger side, a bit more depth in their roster, allowed them to carry it through for the win, and they have stamped their card to get into that semi-final matchup, the first in this side of the bracket to do so. And we'll get another look at some of the beautiful highlights of this match. HUCK dominant at the start, taking on the opportunities, but Cartagena coming through on that case with a defensive play. Great use of the deep space, positioning so strong, even with the height mismatches. But intelligent defense from Revolution, taking it away in the latter stages. Rapid movement from the offense of Revolution. And to finish it up, that disc into space to take the half and the game.
Catch it early. Help us teach kids about cancer symptoms through Ultimate Frisbee clinics. Join us and speak up.